everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Camilla.
And today we're taking a look at a big game here. I don't
Pick
know
it
if
up.
that Awakened
Do it.
Realms does it.
You can do-
I don't know that Awakened Realms does any other kind of game. This is Dragon Eclipse. Dragon Eclipse is a game. In fact, I want to start out here by saying that I'm not going to be doing an overview of this game because we played this game live. We're going to have a link to that in the description of this video where you can go just watch it being played live. But it's a game in which you are collecting wormlings. And you're going through this fantasy world. You're a wormling trainer. And you're collecting them and fighting other wormlings who then you can, if you're good enough, collect them and go fight.
Yeah, you defeat them. You have to make choices, right? You defeat them or you kind of collect them so that you can train them up and add them to your, not repertoire, your pocket?
It's very Pokemon. I mean, let's just call it what it is. The theme is Pokemon, although other than that, it's not. This is not a Pokemon clone. In fact, even the wormlings they're little dragons, and they get bigger, some of them throughout the game. So it's not like a copy of Pokemon, but the idea is the same as Pokemon. Go collect creatures, go out and fight with them. But you're doing it in this game for a more grandiose thing, not got to catch them all.
Right. I think the overhead kind of principles are the same, but the gameplay is also very different. I mean, the collectible part, the adding them, the training them up, choosing your dragon, going into a fight, that's very reminiscent of Pokemon. But there's so much more happening in this, especially with the story as you're going through the town phase and going in and making the decisions and visiting locations, which might change as you go and make certain decisions. It's much more evolutionary than Pokemon.
Now, one thing they did with this, and I applaud them for it, I think it's kind of a risky thing, is this is a 1 to 2 player game.
Yes.
And you know, the kind of games that Awakened Realms often make, I'm usually like, let's play this 1 to 2 players. They did that right out the gate here. And it's also a campaign game. So if you're looking for one-offs, they do exist. There's a certain level where they're like, okay, now you go into arena and fight. And I don't know if you can jump there from the beginning. Maybe there's a way to do that. I think they might let you jump to those arena fights if you want to. But it's mostly about this campaign, which frankly isn't that small.
No, it's the size of the box gives you a feeling to how big, and I think again encompassing kind of the campaign's going to be. It is pretty in depth,
and it's also very branching. So one really cool thing. So when Camilla and I played this game live, we tried a little bit of it off camera before we played the live game, and we started with this first scenario. We went to different spots in town and did various things, and then we played on camera and did something completely different.
Right, we tried
really
something different,
neat.
and it was really cool to see. Like it's not on rails, but makes you feel like it's a little bit different. No, it is opening different options, and it's not very streamlined, as in like your choices. You know, it's very branching, and that was surprising.
Which is good because that's about half the game.
Yes,
there's a lot of finding stuff, doing tests. You know, discovering this world, going on maps. If you like games like Seventh Continent and things where you're going out and exploring, you're going to like that. If you're here just for the combat, like I would compare this sort of to Oathsworn in that regard, where there's like a whole big setup and then a combat, then a whole big setup and a combat, and they almost feel like two games put together. They affect each other slightly, but they're really two different games in a sense.
I think the two together build the story, but it's very two parts.
The combat's a little puzzly. There's some interesting things. It's a giving combat, like in a sense of I'm taking a card, getting these gems, using these gems to spend on other cards. So you always feel like there's something good you can do, but you're also saying, I move here, do exactly this amount of damage. I then see what the enemy's probably going to do, and you can learn your enemies. So if you're looking for random, chuck some dice, there's a little bit of that randomness in the game, but not much. It's very... It's more Gloomhaven than it is.
Agreed.
Even
Oathsworn or Oathsworn you're talking about. You know, you're not rolling dice or flipping over cards. You know, for combat, it's deterministic.
Yeah, and then if you lose, not the end of the world. You can redo the combats. There's a harder level when you do a combat where you can try. And in our playthrough, you see this where we captured one of the wormlings. But I like that that's an extra above and beyond. If you don't do it, you beat it, you continue on. But if you catch it, now you have more wormlings that you can stick in. I'm like, oh, we got a wind wormling. Well, this is great for the next time. I think they're actually I don't know what they're called. But
Emberlings,
Emberlings. When you get to the next thing and they're like, this was a wind one would be useful here, I have it.
And I love that choice. I love that you're getting more to choose from as you go and you're going into the battle and you're like, okay, I'm fighting this. Let's see, I want to bring out this this dragon specifically. I want the fire dragon in this scenario. Or, ooh, this one here, we've seen it before. I remember he coupled really well with the ice dragons. I love that decision going into the battle and into the arena, being able to have those options.
Let's talk briefly about components. It's Awakened Realms or stuff. They're miniatures,
Beautiful.
very high quality. I will say this. This is one of the first times I've got one of their games, and they do the, what's it called? The
Sundrop,
which looks amazing. I kind of would like my stuff to be painted, which I normally don't.
Yeah.
Because we have fire and ice and wind, I would kind of want them to be painted. The fire one's reddish. It just, I don't know why I feel that way, but it feels like that would help me get into the theme a little more.
Even maybe not fully painted if you went through and just did like the scales on some of them, or some of them are, said they have a really good basing, paint the egg that it's holding, something like that, but just some splash of color. I would really like that too.
When you open this game, it is about a 45 setup minute. I will tell you, they walk you through the book. They're like, open this pack of cards. Put these cards here. Put these cards here. And so I did all that. It is a lot. And even though I think the card artwork is good. I think the card quality is good. I hate the insert.
Absolutely.
Not the insert that holds the miniatures. That's fine. But the one that holds the cards.
The L one?
Wow, who thought an L-shaped miniature? I mean, I don't want to. I keep trying not to drop it every time I pull it out of the box.
Make it two. Give me two just rectangle ones, or smaller. I mean, 3. Split it up somehow. But having just a big L-shaped insert that goes also in the bottom of the box, so you can't just be like, well, I'll just leave it in the box and sift through from there. It's so far down that you really can't see the cards. You need to take it out each time you play, and that is so frustrating. And
there's also a decent amount of tokens, and you're like just supposed to shove them in a small container thing.
These itty bitty wells that you can't get your fingers into. It's
that part's disappointing, especially in a big box with like this. Yeah. The rule book's very well done. They also tutorial you through it.
Yes.
They're like, here's your first combat, and they walk you through it. And we did that walkthrough, and we were like, it's pretty easy. And then we played it, and it was not hard. And then we got to the next combat. We're like, okay, it's harder.
Oh, I see.
But it wasn't harder on how to play.
Correct.
It's harder to get good at it, I think. And then it has these booster packs. So depending on if you get the nice edition, I think there's a standing edition that comes with where you make your own booster packs. And this one came with pre-built ones.
Oh.
But make your own. They tell you put these cards in a little cardboard pack.
Okay.
You build it yourself. I just like that, though. I like finding some new cards and putting them into different sets and going from there. And
well, it also ensures that everyone's game is going to be different. I mean, you're building not just your characters, not just your dragon, not just your book here that you can choose from. You're actually building your options to deck build or deck construct, I guess, as well. Because you opened a booster pack, which might be different than, you picked this pack and someone else picked a different pack. So what means my options are going to be very different than somebody else playing through this game who maybe chose a different booster pack to open. I really like that it does feel like you are custom building your experience as you go through, not just in choices in the games, but also in things like booster packs, like what dragon you're wormling that you're taking into battle with you. Did you try to tame it, or did you just defeat it? I love that you're custom building an experience.
So where I am on the game, components I think are pretty awesome other than those annoying inserts. The story is fine. It's well written. But I didn't find it to be like, wow, I've never heard this story before. I mean, it's kind of similar. That's different, though, for me than the exploration is off the charts. I think all the things you can do rivals most board games of this type. And I thought the combat was interesting. I thought it was a nice mix of being a puzzly type combat like Gloomhaven, but not particularly difficult. I'm not talking about how hard it is to beat, but I have these cards to take. I will take this card, I will play this card, and we move on. You have a small deck of 18 cards. The boss will move a certain way. They get harder and harder, which some of these games do. But that kind of gives you a timer. I thought all this good. It comes together for me as an 8. I don't think I'll be honest, we get so many of these big campaign games, I don't think I'm going to finish this one. I don't see it happening, but I could. Again, this is because I'm a reviewer and because of time-wise, I could see me playing this with one of my daughters.
Okay.
Because she likes this theme a lot. I could see us going through that together. I could also see me just playing through it by myself. I think that would work that way too. But we did the 1 combat, and then we did the 2-player. I would like to enjoy this game with somebody, not just by myself. Yeah. I would pick 2 over 1 on this one, and I do 1 on a lot of their games. So I'm an 8.
All right. I'm going to come in at a 9 on this game. I really, really enjoy it. I am not a solo gamer. This is one I would be tempted to go through in solo. So you're saying how you think you prefer 2. I, hands down, always prefer 2 in a game. I love that it's hyper-focused on that player count, that it does feel like there's an easy way to add in a second player, but this was meant to be a solo game, and you can see that. But I can also easily add in that second player, and that's how I want to play it. I was actually engaged. I really enjoyed the story in this one. It's the type of stories I like in the campaigns, where you're making a decision, and then you have a small paragraph where you make another decision, and then another one, and another. So it's very layered as you're going through it. It's not a whole one page that you're reading to set the scene. So you're very engaged as the story is evolving.
Periods,
Yes, I love that. I love, if I'm going to play a campaign and I'm making decisions out of the gate, I want a tutorial system that's teaching me to play, so I don't feel like at the end of the game, I now know how to play and I want to replay it to make better decisions because I didn't know how to play and I made a bad decision in my first play. The tutorial in this is fantastic. It gets it to the table quickly. You learn to play, and then you feel like you're making decisions that not just matter, but also that you're thinking about so very quickly. And I think that's hard to find in a campaign game, that you're going to spend hours and hours. You want to feel good about what you did from your first play. That being said, you're also growing and learning with your characters. The combat is so puzzly, and you're having to think about that puzzle. So you're getting better with your character as they're getting better, and you're getting new options and cards for your deck, but you're also getting better at learning how to combo it together, as well as the game is getting harder. So it's really this kind of push and pull as each of you get better. They get harder, but you get better. Then it gets a little harder. Well, you get more efficient with a new card and new option. And so you grow with the game and the experience. And I think that comes together in such a great package. But man, do I hate the insert. It's like, for a box this big, I don't want a bunch of bags that I'm throwing in here, but I also hate this insert. So I don't know what to do about a storage solution yet. But for me, the game is fantastic, and it's a 9.
Well, that's Dragon Eclipse, folks. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Camilla.
See you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.